Okay, what I did was I took all the bolts out of the car. So, because what's going to happen is I'm going to remove all the body bolts, the bolts that hold the bushings in. I'm going to remove them all out of the car on one side, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the body of the car up so I can remove the bushings. But before I start that, you may notice I got the car up in the air pretty high. How did I do this? What I did was I went to like Home Depot or Beckley's Lumber, I don't know, whatever lumber store you have around your neck of the woods, and I got a couple of railroad ties. I think I got 8. And what I did was I cut them in half, and then I nailed them together, nailed 2 of them together, because each railroad tie is 5.5 by 5.5 inches. So what I did was I nailed them together. I don't know if you can see this right here. And so I got 2 on top of each other for safety. So I got 2 by side, 2 on top, which gives me the altitude of 11 inches, which is kind of cool for me to do mostly just about anything. That's, you know, but if, hey, again, if you are fortunate enough to have a lift in your garage shop, I'm not hating, God bless you. But the garage shop here, you know, we got 11 inches. And we get the car up, and this is good for if you have to do something with where you need the weight on the car, where you need the weight, you know, you can't have it up in the air. You need the weight on the wheels. This is really a cool trick. I wouldn't use center bricks. I've seen people use center bricks. I heard horror stories about those, but I would not use those. But these, you know, I'm not recommending that you do it. This is just how I do it. All right. So and it's been pretty successful. Knock on wood. Almost there. Once again. So, like I said, I got the bolts out, so we're going to get ready to lift the frame, pretty much the body off the frame a little bit, just enough so I can reach in there and grab the bushing and pull it out. Now, if you look on the left side, woo, right here, if you notice, you see my jack right there? And I put the camera in position so you can see where the wheel is in reference to the wheel well. And I want you to see, so I want you to notice, when I lift up on the jack, raise it up, you're going to see the body come off the frame, pretty much enough where I can reach under there and grab a bushing. All right, so let's do this. All right, here we go. See that? All right, let's grab a bushing and get one out. All right. Here's one. Put the new one in. Done deal. On that side. If you do use this method where you lift the body off the frame, there's a couple things to remember. You got to remember, do one side first and then do the other side. One side, tighten it down, then do the other side, because what's going to happen is if you don't tighten them down, it may shift the body off of the frame, then you're going to have to realign the whole car. Now, also, when you lift the body off the frame, you're going to keep an eye on this door gap, because what's going to happen is the body's going to flex a little, and you may find this door start creeping closer to the fender, and it may scratch it. So what I usually do for that, I just open the door. It's been working out well for me, so I'm just passing on that little tip for you guys. I got the bushings. I got all the bushings on the driver's side out, and I got the new bushings in. But like I said, we're going to do a comparison. So now this is what I was talking about. These are the old bushings. The rubber still is pretty nice. I mean, it doesn't have that many miles on it, that much wear on it, but this is the old bushing, and this is the bushing I'm replacing with the polyurethane Hyperflex. All right, this is by Energy Suspension, and you can see it's a little bit thicker, so you may notice a rise in height of the car. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing rides, because they say soft than rubber, but I guess what's going to happen is when you sandwich it, when you bolt it down, it sandwiches down to about this size, and but like I said, the base is about, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch higher, which we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But before, and this is the stationary one I was talking about. Now, see, you have a couple of these on your car. There's like 4 of them, I believe, on your car. If you have a convertible, I think there's 6. Where these just don't even bolt in. These ones bolt in. See, there's a bolt. You bolt these ones in, but this guy just sits on top, and the sandwiches between the frame and the body, And this is the energy suspension one. Now, the rubber's pretty tight, but it's, you know, you can bend it. This one's pretty soft, and you can bend, you can squeeze it, bend, squeeze it. And like I said, look at the difference in height. So like I said, you may notice your car riding a little higher. Probably not that much of a difference. I don't think it's going to raise more than a 1/4 inch or maybe 1/8 of an inch. But now, when I put the poly in, I was prepping these bushings because I was talking to Mark Stavinsky. You know, like he's out in CNC, SCNC, tongue twister, Classic Customs out in Pennsylvania, and knowledgeable. He's a very knowledgeable guy, and he knows all about suspensions. And he's the one who's like tried a poly, so I'm doing it now. He also told me before you put poly, because there's rumors that they squeak. And sometimes they do. I guess it depends on if you leave it outside or whatever. Like I said, this car is pretty much inside, especially during the winter. And he says what you could do is you can go and get some dry powdered graphite right here and put it on. It's like a lubricant actually, and you put it on the bushing, and that should solve the problem. And what I did was I put a little anti-seize on here in the sleeve, because when you do the poly, you got a sleeve and it goes in like this. So I put a little anti-seize on here. Will it make a difference? Who knows? But like I said, I don't want to, you know, do this again. But if this car rides horrible, I have no problem ripping them out, and I'm going to tell you what's up. So let me get back to work and get the other side out so we can take this thing for a ride. All right?